They're doing this without Callum Moore, their skipper and best midfielder on the ground. It's been a really good response.
Kyle, you suffered a pretty nasty injury a few weeks ago in the SANFL. How did the injury occur?
Yeah, well, I was playing. We're playing against Port Adelaide at Alberton, and I was going back with the flight of the ball in the third quarter. Left my man and we went to take a mark. It was pretty sunny, so you couldn't see the ball until the last minute. And yeah, went up and turned in the air and went to take the mark, and all of a sudden I got a knee. Watching the vision back, I think it was John Butcher from Port Adelaide, in my ribs and spleen area. And then, yeah, I think when I landed on the ground, a truck landed on top of me, which probably finished me off a little bit. But also landed, the knee made me turn upways, and I landed on my shoulder, so I hurt my shoulder a bit as well as my spleen and broken rib. Yeah, well, I walked off the ground, unlike the newspaper article that said I got stretchered off the ground, which I was disappointed with. So then I got Mark Cesana, our doctor. The game was onto it very quickly, and got an ambulance to the Royal Adelaide Hospital, and yeah, I was looked after very well. By all the doctors and everything like that, surgeons, speaking to the surgeons, and I got a couple of scans. I got a CT scan and also X-ray, and the X-ray showed up that I broke my 9th rib, and the CT scan showed up that I lacerated my spleen. And yeah, so I had a bit of bleeding and stuff like that, and yeah, they were a bit worried about me, so I was in intensive care for a couple of days, and yeah, they released me after 2.5, 3 days. I didn't think anything was wrong. Obviously, I felt a little bit of pain with the broken rib, and I strained my AC joint in my shoulder, which they were the main pain factors that I could feel. And I never had a spleen injury, so there was no real pain to that. So I was pretty surprised, and I thought I was going home before the scans. The doctor told me the results of the scan. So yeah, it was a bit of a surprise, but yeah, once they told me, and I knew I was in good hands, so I wasn't really worried about anything else happening. Some of the main concerns are that I can bleed out, and that you need to have an operation to repair or remove your spleen. You can live without a spleen, but yeah, obviously it filters infections and stuff in your blood, so it's a pretty important organ. And yeah, so I was pretty lucky to hang on to it, and the doctor was pretty surprised on how quick my recovery rate was, and he was also pretty surprised at how much I didn't bleed, because the amount of impact that I had and the damage to the inside of the spleen. Yeah, he thought there would be a hell of a lot more bleeding, and he's seen people with lesser knocks to that area bleed out a lot more. So yeah, fortunate and pretty lucky to have a good recovery rate, I think.
You're an expert now, but did you know what the spleen did prior to that?
Had no idea.
At least he's got room to produce a half-decent kick down the field.
We might come back to that later, John. It's one of those little things that are really good to explain to people.
And at the present time,
right now, wrapped up by Hartigan. Too long. Gotta be too long.
Mind you, they still gave him an attempt.
Plans just to keep recovering. I'm not doing much at the moment. Obviously, can't get knocks on it and stuff like that at the moment. So it's pretty delicate, and yeah, just build up my recovery over the next few weeks, and I'll be right to go day 1 of pre-season. So I just got that goal to work towards, and make sure I do everything right, and don't do anything silly to aggravate it, because it's can injure it again very easily. So yeah, I sort of thought when I got in the AFL side I'd like to stay there, and I got 7 games, which is built on my 3 from the year before. So yeah, I sort of haven't really looked back on it yet, but maybe towards the end of when it all comes to an end and you leave the club and go on holidays, you might look back on it. I probably would have liked to play a few more, and I would have liked to be in some better form to get back in earlier, or those sort of things, but I didn't set myself a certain number, because different factors come into play at the start of the year and through the year. So yeah, I think I'll look back, and if you told me 2 years ago that I'd played 10 games of AFL after 2 years, then I would have said joking. But yeah, so I don't know. I haven't really looked back on it yet. I think I'll take some time later on in the year to look back on it and yeah, set some goals for next year.
Follow the Crows on Twitter at Adelaide_FC.
Use the hashtag GoCrows in your footy tweets.
And follow our players too.
Like me.
Follow me at Daniel Talia 12.
At 11 M Wright.
Follow me at Sam Jacobs 24. No, follow me, RJ Douglas 26.
Follow me at Tomo05. I'm flat out on Twitter.